Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn the difference between two very common synonyms. So let's get started. So we have these two synonyms. The first, show up. It's a phrasal verb, and it means to arrive. And we have make it. Make it to, an expression that also means arrive, but they're a little different. Let's talk about each one. First, show up. Show up means to arrive, appear, or come, but normally in a situation where there's a problem, like you're late, or maybe you don't come, you don't arrive. We use the phrasal verb show up.
Darren, you can't just show up here and take them without talking to me first.
You can't just show up here after 2 years and suddenly act like you care.
I know, but you can't just show up. You can't just show up here. You know that. Come on.
If you don't actually take them to court, at least threaten to take them to court, and I bet you that child support check will show up on time.
Whenever you can show up on time, presumably tomorrow.
Like the judge said, you show up, you sign your name, 6 weeks later, dismissed.
When I didn't show up for work this morning, someone called the police, I'm sure.
Other than the fact that I would fire you and hire someone else if you didn't show up for work, but...
And he didn't show up for work this morning. No phone calls, nothing. And then one evening, he just didn't show up for work.
It's Yoko's case, but she didn't show up for work this morning.
You can't just show up here. This is my workplace.
You show up at the games on time and the practices, and you wear a shirt and tie.
Are you physically unable to show up on time?
If I had that many miles, I would show up at an airport, look at the destination board, pick a place, and go.
I show up on time, and then I pass the buck to you.
Every so often, Andy would show up with fresh bruises.
Everything's fine. Everything's great, except for the fact that you guys decided to show up.
Well, look who decided to show up.
I keep thinking Jake might just show up and say hello.
Example, he shows up late for work every day, almost every day. He shows up late for work a lot. That means he appears, he comes, he arrives late for work. Use the phrasal verb show up. Let's practice. Does he show up late for work a lot? That's right, he shows up late for work a lot. Does he show up late for work almost every day? That's right, he shows up late for work almost every day. So his boss said, if you show up late for work one more time, you're fired. So I can explain, if he shows up late for work one more time, he'll get fired. Instead of saying his boss will fire him, I can say he'll get fired, using passive voice with the verb get. Again, if he shows up late for work one more time, he'll get fired. Let's practice. What will happen if he shows up late for work one more time? That's right. If he shows up late for work one more time, he'll get fired. And then, the next day, nothing. He doesn't show up. He doesn't appear. He doesn't come. He doesn't arrive. So I use the phrasal verb show up. The next day, he never even showed up. He wasn't there, so he got fired. So again, he never even showed up. I changed the verb show to the past showed. I linked the sound d with the next word up, dup, dup, together, showed up, showed up. Link the sounds, link the words. In the past, showed up. I use never as my negative. He never even showed up the next day. So of course, he was fired. Or I can say he got fired. In this example of passive voice, I can use either verb. I can use was, he was fired, or I can use get in the past got, he got fired. They mean exactly the same thing. So again, he never even showed up the next day, so of course he got fired. His boss warned him. Let's practice. So what happened the next day? Did he show up? That's right, he didn't even show up. Did he get fired? That's right, he got fired. Now let's talk about make it. The expression make it means to arrive, but it's a little different. It means to reach your destination after difficulty. Something was difficult, it was hard, you use make it. And again, it means to reach your destination. And when I use the expression make it, I don't have to say the destination. I don't have to mention the destination. I can just say make it. In the past, made it. After driving in traffic for 2 hours, I arrive at the office. I arrive at work and I say, I finally made it. I don't have to say the destination. So I don't need the preposition to. I finally made it. But if I say work, then I need the preposition. I finally made it to work. Pronunciation, I finally made it to work. Not to work, but to. I finally made it to work. After driving in traffic for 2 hours, I finally made it. The idea, I finally arrived. I finally reached my destination. Use the expression make it. In the past, made it.
My mother said that he never would have made it to America if it weren't for her.
Are you gonna make it to our race today?
Listen, I'm gonna make it to the next game, buddy, I promise.
We're gonna make it to Salt Lake. Get you fixed up.
Here, come on, we gotta hustle up if we're gonna make it to the old neighborhood in time to wrap presents at the club.
Although, technically, this is my house, so I'm glad you could make it.
Hey, you made it. Hey, you made it.
Andrea, this is Amy.
Hi, I'm so glad you made it. Hi, I'm so glad you made it.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you made it.
Hey, you made it.
I'm so glad you made it.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah.
We're never gonna make it to the surface.
Have you made it to the archive room?
I'm glad you could make it.
I hope I can make it across the border.
And I don't think we're gonna make it to your wedding.
We got an idea. Maybe we can make it to the island.
Example, after driving in traffic for 2 hours, he finally made it. He finally made it to work. Let's practice. Did he finally make it to work after driving in traffic for 2 hours? That's right, he finally made it to work after driving in traffic for 2 hours. Because it was difficult, we use this expression. Maybe the weather was bad, it was raining, and there were a lot of accidents. It was difficult, use the expression make it. If it was difficult to get there, you can use the expression make it. In the past, made it. Example, they were going on vacation and they were driving to the hotel, the resort where they were spending their vacation. But they had car problems. Their car broke down and they couldn't get it fixed. So I can say, they never made it. Make in the past, made it. They never even made it to the hotel. They had car problems, so they never reached their destination. They didn't arrive. Use the expression make it. In the past, made it. And because I mentioned the destination, I have to use the preposition to. Made it to the hotel. Pronunciation, to the hotel. They never even made it to the hotel. Example, they were driving to the hotel for their vacation, but they had car problems. Did they make it to the hotel? That's right. They never even made it to the hotel. I guess they had to sleep in their car. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but they never made it to the hotel. So remember, show up, in the past, showed up. It means to arrive, usually in situations where someone's late or they don't even show up. They don't arrive, they don't get there, they don't appear. And make it means arrive when you have a difficult situation, difficult circumstances. You can say, I finally made it to work. He finally made it to work after driving for 2 hours in traffic. Or if he doesn't reach his destination, you can say he never made it. He never even made it to his destination. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.